Here at CMA Fest with the one and only Struggle Jennings. 1 week since El Camino today.
Yeah, 1 week.
How's it feel?
Feels amazing, man, to release this body of work that's so true to me, and it's my first full-length country album, and to see that the fans and all my supporters have gravitated towards it just like they would one of my rap albums, just it's solidified so much for me, and it's been just amazing.
Can I ask you about a specific song on the record?
There's so many of them. We're about to release the video to Felt the Same. That song just ended up being so amazing that I couldn't wait to put it out. And Road I Came has been kind of the song that a lot of people have gravitated towards and really latched onto. Black Ribbons.
See, that's what I wanted to ask about. I was hoping you would tell me about the day you wrote that song, because I know that's one that's just you.
Yeah, but it's Black Ribbons I didn't even write it.
You didn't even write it.
It's Shooter.
A shooter.
So when I was fighting my federal case and going through all my troubles and stuff 13 years ago, Shooter had released Black Ribbons, and it was one of those songs that I probably listened to for 4 months while I was fighting my case and just going through so many emotions of gonna have to leave my family and kind of scrambling to get an album out before I left. And that song was literally played 24 hours a day in my car, and it was one of those ones that just when I went back and listened to it, the nostalgia and the feelings and the emotions, like it all became like a whirlwind of like remembering that moment, and because there's so many defining moments within that time period. And so I did it, and it was really hard because I had to change the key, and like I have to really sing on that one. And
You do.
And I sent it to Shooter, like, if he's gonna like it. And he called me back crying and was like, dude, I wrote that when I was in a dark place, and hearing you cover it made me feel like I was understood. So that one's got a lot of meaning.
I think you're going to make other people feel that way with that one.
I hope so.
It's kind of a song that when I heard it the first time, I had the album on in my headphones and going about doing my stuff, and it's one of those ones where you kind of stop. Yeah. Whoa.
And I decided to just do it stripped down and not overproduce it, and I wanted them to just feel the pain in my voice.
To switch gears entirely, talk to me about Twisted, which is another song that will stop me in my tracks a little bit for different reasons, though.
Yeah.
That one, I feel like maybe I'm not sober enough to enjoy the song. You know what I mean? I feel like I get a little rowdy for that.
You gotta have a little bit of blood pumping for that one. That was one of those ones where it's like you change your life, and you try to be the best man you can be. And some people try to take it for granted. They take kindness for weakness, and it's just that fun reminder that, hey, I might have changed my ways, but I still got that dog in me.
When it came to picking guest features, you did a great job. I want to know mostly about like Bonnie. Why was this the time to bring Bonnie into the
I've wanted to do a song with Bonnie for so long. I signed her a couple of years ago, and she's also helped me build this label. And she's such an amazing artist and singer. I don't, for a long time, me rapping, and she's got that sweet Americana voice. I don't think I would have ever done it justice till this moment.
This is where
it just fell into place. It was like, I was looking at the album, I was like, gotta have Bonnie on it. And I was literally, I flew out to Denver to see George Strait and Chris Staples.
Yeah.
Took my wife out there, and Bonnie happened to have a show there the day after, I believe. And so I went and watched her perform, and it was my first time getting to see her perform live. And I was just caught up in the moment, and I was like, I gotta have a song with Bonnie on this album. And so I literally wrote that song in the airport on the way back.
You were inspired by
I was just so inspired by watching her just up there with her guitar, crushing it, and that's one of my favorites as well. Like, I can't even pick one.
That's a good place to be in.
Yeah.
Tell me about the album art. I've looked at it a lot, and I've been trying to figure out exactly how to piece it together with the record. How did the album cover come together?
Well, the story is that my mom and dad met in 1979 at the West Nashville skating rink, and my mom was the daughter of Waylon and Jesse, and my dad was old West Nashville, came from nothing, poverty, and they fell in love. He had an El Camino, and one night under the stars, they conceived me. Right, so I was made in the back of an El Camino. So, and El Camino also means like the path or the journey. So that all just kind of fell into place, and I got this 1970 El Camino, and I wanted to recreate that moment. So I used my son and then a friend of mine's daughter that had so many of my mom's features. And we recreated that moment of just their love in the back of that El Camino.
Now, it seems like you've put so much heart. This feels like such a complete release in terms of like all these things that you hadn't gotten to use yet, things that you wanted to do. Is there any component of this, like, do you have stuff waiting? Or did you put it all into this record and now you got to start over?
I've got 4 albums in the works right now.
Perfect transition to this question. Is one of them Waylon and Willie 5?
I hope so. We
My brother.
have a few songs, I know. I mean, the guys. Man,
Every time I see the two, I was so happy about the Opry video, but when I first saw it, I was like, is this a Waylon and Willie moment?
Yeah.
I mean, good for Struggle, but like maybe a little plus at the end of this.
He just went out on stage last night with Eminem in Detroit. Really crazy. He's crushing so much. So there definitely is a Waylon and Willie 5 in the works. Mm-hmm. We probably already have a couple songs.
I feel like with where you two are now, it could be a really different experience.
Oh, it's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
It'll be the best one ever. For sure.
Oh my, it's just so wonderful. Now tell me about the Opry, because I was actually texting Alex the other day because I was trying to get him to give me details. Like, what's it like being back? So like, what was the experience? I mean, I can tell it's incredible, but like, what was it like?
You kind of black out.
Then you just get in bed at night and you're like, what?
Yeah. No, it was so amazing. I mean, for pulling in, they've got a reserved parking spot with my name on it on the wall. Grand Ole Opry debut, Struggle Jennings, and then you walk in, and from the security, and then everybody's just so like warm and inviting, and then you see all the history on the walls, and it was completely surreal. I didn't really even know how to take it in. You just kind of you're like overwhelmed and excited and emotional, and so it's amazing. There's nothing else like. I've done places with 27,000 people, and I've done Red Rocks, and I've done all this cool stuff, and it's like there's nothing ever that has felt.
And the circle moment itself, just especially with your family history.
I know. I walked out there when we were doing the sound check, and it's just like you feel this energy from it. But then when you walk out there to actually step in it in front of all those people, it almost takes you to your knees.
People say that they have a moment of hesitation almost.
Yeah. I stopped.
Power
took my hat off.
right there.
I stopped, took my hat off to it, before I stepped in it.
I can't. Oh man. So now you had release week. It's been a huge success. You did the Opry. How do you top like the last 10 days of your life moving forward for the rest of the year? What's next? How do you go above this?
I have no idea. But I feel like it's going to keep getting better, So, it's been one funny part about watching Jelly. It's like you see him do this, and you're like, oh, it's the biggest thing he could ever do. And then he does this, and then, it just keeps, there's so many great things. I mean, this week will be forever special because it was my Grand Ole Opry debut and my first full-length country album that was so near and dear to my heart. But you just keep moving, man, and things keep getting better and better.
Can I ask you one last question?
Yeah.
We're outsiders. We used to be in rock and metal ourselves. We moved into country. And something that I've always kind of bumped into, and we talked about it a lot being here this week, is like, was there a moment when you felt like country music and fully embraced you before the Opry this week? Was there a moment when
I didn't know if they'd ever would embrace me. Like, that's why I got so emotional.
That imposter syndrome of like...
Yeah, I mean, I come from country royalty, right? And I've really lived in the country, and I'm from Nashville. But I was an '80s baby. Rap was my world, and that's the environment I lived in. That's how I was living, and that's what spoke to me, especially as a child. But country music was always like the backdrop to my upbringing. My parents and uncles and stuff, they weren't listening to rap. That's what we snuck off to do. So that was always like really close to me. And I remember standing backstage when I was super young, and Waylon's out on stage, and I just remember hearing that steel guitar.
Yeah.
And it almost made me cry, and that's why I would be willing to bet I'm the first rapper that ever put steel guitar on a rap record, for sure. And I saw this, though. I told Jelly 20 years ago, I said, one day I'm going to have gold teeth and be singing country music. And he told me not long ago, he reminded me of it. It was like, yeah, I thought you were crazy, but I beat you to the punch. But I mean, that was going, it was like we saw the vision a long time ago that as you grow and you elevate as a man, as a person, right? Taste changes, things change, but we've grown up, and this is where our heart is, and I'm so excited that they have been so welcoming, because for a long time they didn't. Especially when I was mixing country and rap like 15 years ago, they probably all hated me, And I definitely didn't think they were going to welcome me this fast, and I definitely didn't think that they were going to invite me to the Grand Ole Opry so soon.
It's weird how it happened.
Yeah.
You look up one day and you're like, oh, I guess I do belong.
Yeah. I always knew I did. I mean, I was the only rapper wearing cowboy boots, besides Yellow Wolf, of course, Yellow Wolf.
True. Shout out Yellow Wolf. He does.
Yeah. He's the one that kind of talked me into the boots, because I was like, man, I love cowboy boots. I wish I could pull those off. And he was like, what do you mean you can't pull them off? Man, put these on. He bought me my first pair of Luke cases when I came home from prison. And I put them on. I was walking into this federal halfway house, and, all the guys in there and stuff. And they were fixing to fry me. They were fixing to make so much fun of me. And I walked in, they're like, oh, look at those. What is that? I'm ostrich, So it's like, it was just that confirmation. And, You know, if you're true to yourself and, you know, you just be who you are. Some people may not like you, but it's just hate. Because if you meet somebody and they're genuine and they're authentic and they're who they are and they're being who they want to be, you can't do anything but love them. So I'm glad that I wasn't going anywhere anyway.
Man, hell yeah, brother. Thank you so much.